பிறவி சூழன் தலை நீக்கி அல்லல் அறுத்து ஆனந்தமாக்கியதே. எல்லை மறுவார் நெறியளிக்கும் வாதபூரன் போல் திருவாசகம் என்னும் தேன். நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க, நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. போகழியாண்ட ஒரு மனிதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, ஆகமம் ஆகி நின்று அன்னிப்பான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஏகன் அநேகன் இறைவன் அடி வாழ்க, வேகம் கடுத்தாண்ட வேந்தன் அடி வல்க. பிறப்பருக்கும் பிஞ்சகந்தன் பேய்கழகள் வல்க, புறத்தார் குசேயோந்தன் பூங்கழகள் வல்க. கரங்குவிவார் உள்மகிழும் பொன்கழகள் வல்க, சிறங்குவிவார் ஓங்குவி கொன் சீரோன் கழல் வல்க. ஈசனடி போற்றி எந்தை அடி போற்றி, தேசனடி போற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி, நேயத்தை நின்ற நிமலனடி போற்றி, மாய பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி, சீரார் பெருந்துரைனம் தேவனடி போற்றி, ஆராத இன்பம் அருளுமலை போற்றி. சிவன் அவன் என் சிந்தையுள் நின்றாதனா, அவன் அருளாலே அவன் தாழ் வணங்கி சிந்தை மகிழ சிவபுராணம் தன்னை முந்தை வினை முழுதும் மோய உரை பஞ்ஞான் கண்ணுதலான் தன் கருணை கண்காட்ட வந்தேதி. என்னுதற்கு எட்ட எழிலா கழில் இறைஞ்சி விண்ணிறைந்து மண்ணிறைந்து நிற்காய் விலங்கொழியா. என் இறந்த தொல்லை இல்லாதானே நின் பெரும் செய் கொல்லாவினையே புகழுமா ஒன்றறியே. உள்ளாகி கூடாய் உழுவாய் மரமாகி பல்மிருகமாகி பறவையாய் பாம்பாகி கல்லாய் மனிதராய் பேயாய் கண்களாய் வல்லச்சுரராகி முனிவராய் தேவராய் செல்லா நின்ற இத்தாவர சங்கமத்துள் எல்லா பிறப்பும் பிறந்தலையே நீ பெருமான். தெய்வம் பொன்னடிகள் கண்ணீடு வீழ்ச்சி மொழிய உள்ளத்துள் ஓங்காரமாய் நின்று மெய்யாய் விமலா விடைபாக வேண்டுங்கள் ஐயா என ஓங்கி ஆழ்ந்த அகழ்ந்த நுண்ணியனே. வேயாய் கனியாய் இயமான நாம் விமலா பொய்யா என எல்லாம் போய கலவந்தருளி மெய்ஞானமாகி மிளகின்ற மெய்ச்சுடரே. என் ஞானம் இல்லாதே இன்பப் பெருமானே, அஞ்ஞானம் தன்னை அகவிக்கும் நல்லறிவி ஆக்கும் அருவிருதி இல்லாய் அனைத்தும் ஆக்குவாய் காப்பாய் அழிப்பாய் அருள் தருவாய். கள்ளப்புற குழந்தை கட்டடிக்க வல்லானே, நலிலொரு நட்டம் பயின்றாடும் நாதனே, தில்லையுள் கூத்தனே தென்பாண்டி நாட்டானே. அல்லல் பிறவி அறுப்பானே ஓ என்று சொல்ல வலியானை சொல்லி திருவடிக்கு சொல்லிய பாட்டின் பொருள் உணர்ந்து சொல்லுவார் செல்வ சிவவரத்தின் உள்ளார் சிவனடிக்கு. பல்லோரும் ஏத்த பணிந்து 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 தொலையிலும் பிறவி சூழன் தலை நீக்கி அல்லல் அறுத்து ஆனந்தமாக்கியதே. எல்லை மறுவார் நெறியளிக்கும் வாதவூரன் கோன் திருவாசகம் என்னும் தேன். ஓம் நம சிவாய, ஓம் நம சிவாய, ஓம் நம சிவாய. Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly ask you all to please put your hands together and let us pray. Please do not scream and cry. When we're doing prayer, we want that Atma to attain moksha, to reach its maker. By crying, we are stopping that. So please don't scream and cry when we're doing prayer. Pray with me for this Atma to attain moksha. முன்னவனே யானை முகத்தவனே முத்திநலம் சொன்னவனே தூய்மை சுகத்தவனே மன்னவனே சேர்ப்பரனே ஐங்கரனே செஞ்சடையம் சேகரனே தற்பரனே நின்றால் சரணம் உலகெல்லாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கு அறியவன் உலகெல்லாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கு அறியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நீர்மணிவேணியன் நிலவுலாவிய நீர்மணிவேணியன் அழகும் சோனியன் அழகும் சோனியன் அம்பலத்து வாடுவான் அழகும் சோனியன் அம்பலத்து வாடுவான் மலசீலம் படி வாழ்ச்சி வணங்குவா மலசீலம் படி வாழ்ச்சி வணங்குவா மலசீலம் படி வாழ்ச்சி வணங்குவா திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் மண் உலகத்தினில் பிறவி மாசர எண்ணிய பொருள் எல்லாம் எளிதல் முற்றுற கண்முதல் உடையதோர் களிற்றி மாமுக பன்னவன் மலரடி பணிந்து போற்றுவாம் எல்லாம் செயல் கூடும் என்னானே அம்பலத்தேன் எல்லாம் வல்லான் தலையே எட்டு என்று வருமோ நாளைக்கே வருமோ அல்லது மற்றென்று வருமோ அறியேன் என் கோவே தொன்றுமளவெம்மாயற்ற வெளிக்குள் வெளிக்கடந்த சும்மாயிருக்கும் சுகம் இனியே தமக்குள் அருள் வருமோ எனக் கருதி ஏங்குத நெஞ்சம் ஐயோ இன்றைக்கிருந்தாரே நாளைக்கிருப்பார் என்றோ என்னவோ திடமில்லையே அநியாயமாய் இந்த உடலை நான் என்று வருமோ அந்ததற்காலாகவோ ஆடித்திருந்த நான் கற்றதும் கேட்டதும் அவலமாய் போதல் நன்றோ கனியேனும் வரிய செங்காயனும் உதிர் சருக கந்த மூலங்கள் ஏனும் கனவாதை வந்தை தின்னள்ளி பூசித்து நான் கண்மூடி மௌனியாகி தனியேறுப்பதற்கு எண்ணினேன் எண்ணமிதோ சுவாமினி அறியாததோர் சரவ பரிபூரணாகண்ட தத்துவமான சச்சிதானந்த சிவமே திரு சிற்றம்பலம் பரங்கருணை தடங்களாகிய எங்கள் பரமனே யாங்கள் துக்கத்தில் மூழ்கி தங்களிடம் விண்ணப்பம் செய்து கொள்கிறோம் எங்கள் விண்ணப்பத்தை கேட்டருளும் எங்கள் நல்கரிது உழைத்து வந்து இப்பொழுது எங்களை விட்டு பரகதி அடைந்து போன கனமா கே அவர்களுக்கு யாங்கள் ஆழ்ந்து அனுதாபப்படுகிறோம் ஓ கருணை வல்லலே அவர் பாவங்களை மன்னித்து ஆத்மாவுக்கு நற்கதியும் சாந்தியும் அருள பிரார்த்திக்கிறோம் எங்கும் நிறைந்த எம் பெருமானே தங்கள் திருவடிகளுக்கு பன்முறை வந்தனம் வந்தனம் வந்தனம். I want you to hold the coconut and I want you to turn it. All of you touch on your shoulder and you turn the coconut. And Vijan, you can go break the coconut and bring it, okay?
Must break it twice.
Yeah. Don't smash it, yeah? கடல் கடந்தேன் கரை கடைந்தேன் கண்டு கொண்டேன் கோவில் கதவு திறன் இடர் பெற்றேன் காட்சியெல்லாம் கண்டேன் அடர் கடந்த திருவாமுதுண்டு அருளாலே அனைத்தும் அறிந்து தெளின் இடர் பெற்றேன் அடியாமை அடைந்தேன் உடல் குளிர்ந்தேன் உயர் கிளர்ந்தேன் உள்ளம் எல்லாம் தழைத்தேன் உள்ளபடி உள்ள பொருள் உள்ளவனாய் நிறைந்தேன் இடர் தவிர்க்கும் சித்தியெல்லாம் என் வசமாய் இனவே இத்தனையும் பொது நடம் செய் இறைவன் அருள் செயலே கடல் கடந்தேன் கரை கடைந்தேன் கண்டு கொண்டேன் கோவில் கண்டு கொண்டேன் கோவில் கண்டு கொண்டேன் கோவில். The song that I sang now, I crossed the sea, I crossed the shore, I found out the temple, the door opened, I saw all wonderful visions, I drank the immortal nectar, I became aware of all knowledge by the divine grace and got immortality. I became cool in body with a thrill of joy in life. My heart flourished with delight. I am full with the substance that I am. I am as I am. I got the power to remove pain and misery. And all these are the graceful acts of God who dances equally in every heart. Okay, now ask you all to repeat Namah Shivaya 5 times with me. Reason being, Namah Shivaya has taken this life and we want KANAMA to be at the feet of Lord Shiva. Turn with the foot. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om. 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 Nandri, thank you. Please, Yogesh, you come, all you lot, and come here for the photo. Come. All you come. Stand all one another's shoulder and turn to the photo and put water, right? அம்மா நீ எங்கள் அன்பான தெய்வம் அருமே எங்கள் அம்மாவே ஏ அழகையில் எங்கள் அம்மாவே அம்மா நீ எங்கள் அன்பான தெய்வம் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே அழகையில் எங்கள் அம்மாவே எங்கெங்கும் அலைந்தேன் அறியாமல் இருந்தேன் என் அம்மாவை தேடி வந்தேன் எங்கெங்கும் அலைந்தேன் அறியாமல் இருந்தேன் என் அம்மாவை தேடி வந்தேன் என்னை அன்பாக வளர்த்தேன் முத்தங்கள் கொடுத்தேன் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே ஏ அன்பாக வளர்த்தேன் முத்தங்கள் கொடுத்தேன் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே நன்றி உமக்கு நன்றி அம்மா நிம்மதி உமக்கு நிம்மதி அம்மா நீ எங்கள் அன்பான தெய்வம் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே அழகிய எங்கள் அம்மாவே பொழியாக வாழ்ந்து உயிராக வாழ்ந்து தூக்கி வளர்த்து விட்டார். கொடியாக வாழ்ந்து குயிலாக வாழ்ந்து தூக்கி வளர்த்து விட்டார். பாலூட்டி வளர்த்தார் சோறுட்டி வளர்த்தார் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே. பாலூட்டி வளர்த்தார் சோறுட்டி வளர்த்தார் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே. நன்றி உமக்கு நன்றி அம்மா நிம்மதி உமக்கு நிம்மதி. அம்மா நீ எங்கள் அன்பான தெய்வம் அருமை எங்கள் அம்மாவே. ஏ அழகிய எங்கள் அம்மாவே. ஏ அழகிய எங்கள் அம்மாவே. ஏ அழகிய எங்கள் அம்மாவே. ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் ஓம் சக்தி ஓம்.
Just immediate, ladies and gentlemen, immediate family is going to just put in water, and then all the family and friends, please, there's flowers, and you'll come turn for the picture and then drop the flowers into the bowl, right? Thank you.
என்னம்மா என் தெய்வம் நீதானே. என்னம்மா உன்னாலே நான் வளர்ந்த 10 மாசம் சுமந்து பெற்று எங்கள் வல்லத்த நீயே. ஏனம்மா என்னம்மா என்னழுகு அம்மா. தூக்கி வளர்த்தது எங்கள் அம்மா, பாலூட்டி பார்த்தது எங்கள் அம்மாதான். தூக்கி வளர்த்தது எங்கள் அம்மா, பாலூட்டி பார்த்தது எங்கள் அம்மாதான். ஏன் அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா என் அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா. என் அம்மா என் தெய்வம் நீதானே. என் அம்மா உன்னாலே நான் வளர்ந்த 10 மாசம் சுமந்து பெற்று எங்கள் வளர்த்த நீயே. ஏனம்மா என்னம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா. இரவிலும் ஆனாலும் தூக்கி போல தொட்டிலே போட்டது தாலாட்டுவே அம்மா. இரவிலும் ஆனாலும் தூக்கி போல தொட்டிலே போட்டது தாலாட்டுவே அம்மா. ஏன் அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா. என் அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா என் அம்மா என் தெய்வம் நீதானே என் அம்மா உன்னாலே நான் வளர்ந்த 10 மாசம் சுமந்து பெற்று எங்கள் வளர்த்த நீயே ஏன் அம்மா என் அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா என் அழகு அம்மா ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் தொலையிலும் பிறவி சூடும் தலை நீக்கி அல்லல் அறுத்து ஆனந்தமாக்கியதே எல்லை மறுவான் நெறியளிக்கும் வாதவூரன் கோன் திருவாசகம் என்னும் தேன் நம சிவாய வாழ்க நாதந்தால் வாழ்க இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சல் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க கோகழியாண்ட குருமானி தந்தால் வாழ்க அகமம் ஆகி நின்று அன்னி பார்த்தால் வாழ்க ஏகன் நானே இறைவன் நாடி வாழ்க வேகம் கெடுத்தான் வேந்தன் நாடி வல்க பிறப்பருக்கும் பின் ஜகந்தன் பேய்கழல்கள் வல்க புறத்தார்கூசே யொந்தன் பூகாழல்கள் வல்க கரங்கோவேவாஸ் உள் மகிழும் கோன் கழல்கள் வல்க சிறங்கோவேவார் ஓங்குவை கோன் சீரோன் கழல் வல்க ஈசன் நாடி போற்றி எந்தையாடி போற்றி தேசன் நாடி போற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நேயத்த நின்ற நிமலன் நாடி போற்றி மாய பேர பருக்கும் மன்னன் நாடி போற்றி சீரார் பேருன் துரை தேவ நாடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளோ மாலை
Whoever has the last page, you can come up and take petals, and then if the picture frame and just put it in the bowl.
கட்டழிக்க வல்லானே நல்லேரொரு நாட்டம் பயிராடும் நாதனே தில்லையுள் கூத்தனே தென்பாண்டி நாட்டானே அல்லல் பேர அருவானே என்று சொல்லற்கும் மறியானே சொல்லே தேருவடி கேள் சொல்லிய பாட்டின் பொருளுணர்வு சொல்லுவார் செல்வ சேவ போரத்தின் உள்ளார் சீவன நீ கேள் பல்லோரும் ஏத்த பணிந்து பணிந்து மாறுவார் நெறியளிக்கும் ஆலோசனையோ வாசகம். Ladies and gentlemen, can we please observe silence? Does anybody yet want to sing? Please come forward. Please come forward and you can sing. கற்றைவார் சடையம் மன்னல் கண்ணுதல் பாதனி மற்றும் ஓர் தெய்வத்தன்னை உண்டன நினைந்த பெம்மார் கற்றிலார் அவரை கண்டால் அம்மனானஞ்சுமரே கோனிலா வாலியஞ்சேன் கூற்றவன் சேற்றம் மஞ்சேன் நீனிலாவணியினானை நினைந்துருக்கு நெக்கு வானிலாம் கண்கள் சோர வாழ்த்தனின் ஏற்ற மாட்டார் ஆடலார் அவரை கண்டார் அம்மனானந்துமரே ஆடலார் அவரை கண்டார் அம்மனானந்துமரே ஆடலார் அவரை கண்டால் அம்மனானந்துமரே. இன்னையார் திருவடியன் தலைமேல் வைத்தலுமே துணையான சுற்றங்கள் அத்தனையும் உறந்தொழிந்தேன் அன்னையார் புனற்றில்லை அம்பலத்தை ஆடுகின்ற உனையாளன் சேவாடி பூவல்லி கொய்யாவோ பேராசை அமர்ந்த வெண்டமர பெருந்துரையார் சீரா திருவடியன் தலைமேல் வைத்த பிரான் காரார் கடனஞ்சை உண்டு கண்ட காபாலி ஓரார் புறப்பாடி பூவல்லி கொய்யாமோ அத்தே ஒழித்தது போதருளும் பெருந்துரையான் பித்து வடிவு கொண்டு உலகில் பிள்ளையுமா முத்தே முழ முதல் தர கோசமங்கை வல்லல் முத்தே புகழ்ந்தவான் பூவல்லி கொய்யாமோ பூவல்லி கொய்யாமோ பூவல்லி கொய்யாமோ. சிற்றம்பலம். Ladies and gentlemen, it's a closed coffin, so if you want to come and view the photos here, you can come. You can take your flowers and turn, and there's a bowl there. You can place your flowers in there. Those who come in and feel that they can't come and view, you can come and view. பித்தா பீரை சூடி பெரு மானே அருளா எத்தான் மர போதே நினைக்கின்றேன் மன்ன துன்னை வைத்தாய் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் அத்தா உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே நாயேன் பல நாளோ நீனை வென்றே மனத்துன்னை பேயாய் தீரின் செய்தேன் வேற லாகரும் பெற்றேன் பேயார் வெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் ஆயா உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே மண்ணே மர வாதே நீனை கின்றேன் மன்னத்துன்னை பொன்னே மணி தானே வயிர் அம்மே போரும் துந்தி மின்னார் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் அன்னே உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே முடியே நீ பிறவேன் பேரின் மூவேன் பெற்ற மூர்த்தி கொடியேன் பல்ல பொய்யேரூரை பேனை கூறி கொன்னி செடியார் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் அடியே உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே பாதம் பணி வார்கள் பேரும் பண்டம் மது பண்ணியாய் ஆதன் போரு லானேனரி வில்லேன் அருளாலா தாதார் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் ஆதி உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே தன்னார் மதி சூடி தழல் போலுந்திருமே நீ மன்னார் புறம் ஒன்றும் ஏறி உன்னகின் செய்தார் என்னார் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் அண்ணா உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே ஊனாயுகி ராணாய் ஊட லானாய் உலகானாய் வானாய் நில நானாய் கட லானாய் மல்லையானாய் தேனார் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் ஆனா உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே ஏற்றார் கூற மூன்றும் ஏறி உன்ன சில்லை தொட்டாய் பெற்றாய் தன்ன சொல்லி சிரி வேணோ செக்கன்வாணி ஏற்றாய் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லூர் அருள்துறையுள் சோதி மங்கை வந்தார் தொழுவாரவர் துயராயின தீர்த்தர் உண்ண தொழிலே செழுவார் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லோர் அருதுரையுள் அழகா உனக்கு ஆளாயினி அல்லேன் என்னலாமே காரோர் பூனல் எய்தீதரை கல்லி தீரை கையார் பாரோர் புக கைதே திகழ் அன்மாமணி குந்தி சீரோர் பெண்ணை தென்பால் வெண்ணை நல்லோர் அருள் துறையுள் ஆரோர் எண்ணம் பெருமாற்றுவார் அல்லே எனலாமே அருள்வெண்ணாய் பரந்தயம் பரனே பற்று நான் மற்றிலேன் கண்டாய் சீரொடு பொலிவாய் சிவபுரத்தரசே திருப்பெருந்துறையுரை சிவனே யாரோடு நோகே ஆர்கடல் துறைக்கே ஆண்டனி அருளிலை யானார் வார்கடல் உலகில் வாழ்விலே கண்டாய் வருகையருள் கூறி யாழே பம்பன் தன்னை ஆண்ட மாமானியே மற்ற நான் பற்றிலேன் கண்டாய் உம்பருமறியாய் ஒருவனே இருவர் உணவிறந்துலகமோ செம்பெருமானே சிவபுரத்தரசே திருப்பெருந்துறையுரை சிவனே எம்பெருமானே என்னை அம்மானே என்னை நீ கூறிக்கொள் அருளே பாடிமால் புகழும் பாதமையெல்லாம் பற்று நான் மற்றிலேன் கண்டாய் தேடி நீ ஆண்டாய் சிவபுரத்தரசே திருப்பெருந்துறையுரை சிவனே உடும்போதுன்னோ துவப்பதும் உன்னை உணர்ந்து வருணற்கென்ன குருதே வாடினே நின்று வாழ்விலே கண்டாய் வருகையன்றருள் கூறி யாயே வல்லை வளரக்க புறம் எரித்தானே மற்றும் நான் பற்றிலேன் கண்டாய் தில்லை வாழ்கூத்தா சிவபுரத்தரசே திருப்பெருந்துறையுரை சிவனே எல்லை மோ உலகும் உருவியன்றிருவர் காணும் நாள் ஆகீர் இன்மை வல்லையாய் வல்லண்டாய் வாழ்கிலேன் கண்டாய் வருகையன்றருள் கூறி யாயே பன்னினேன் மொழியார் பங்கனி எல்லாம் பற்று நான் மற்றிலேன் கண்டாய் திங்கமே ஆண்டாய் சிவபுரத்தரசே திருப்பெருந்துறையுரை சிவனே என்னமே உடல்வாய் ஊக்கொடு செவிகன் என்றேவை நின்றன வைத்து மண்ணின் மேல் அணியே வாழ்கின்ற Bye bye, Pambare, Yata Paramani. Bye bye, Pambare, Yata Paramani. Kaiga, Upidore, Ake, Arpayanan, Aran Koil Valamban, Fukeyalati Pochiyanadavi, Fukeyalati Pochiyanadavi, Ake Arpayanan, Kaga Arpayanan, Kare Kandan Muit Kola Kopura Kogaranan Sura, Kola Kopura Kogaranan Sura, Kaga Arpayanan, Utra Arularo, Ui Kondum Porudu, Utra திருப்பன்கொலோ ஈசன் பல்கன தென்னப்பட்டு சிறுமானேதிதன் சேவடி கேள் சென்று சிறுமானேதிதன் சேவடி கேள் சென்று திருப்பன்கொலோ தேடி கண்டு கொண்டே தேருமாளோடு நான் முகலும் தேடி தேடு நான் தேவனை என் உலகம் தேடி தேடு நான் தேவனை என் உலகம் தேடி கண்டு கொண்டே இலங்கை வேந்தன் பேரும் பெரிய இலங்கை வேந்தன் பெரிய முடிப்பத்து இருத்தாய் நீயே பெரிய முடிப்பத்து இருத்தாய் நீயே புறம் முற்றும் ஆட்டாய் நீயே ஒந்தமறியானும் மாலும் கூடி தேரும் அடியன் மேல் வைத்தானியே தேரும் அடியன் மேல் வைத்தானியே திருவையாரகலத செம்போ சோதி திருவையாரகலத செம்போ சோதி திருவையாரகலத செம்போ சோதி திருவையாரகலத செம்போ சோதி. காட்டூர் கடலே கடம்பூர் மலையே கண பேருராய் கொடு கொழுந்தே அழந்து அரசே கொள்ள கொள்ளரே பாட்டூர் பரவ படுவாய் பனங்காட்டூராய் மாட்டூராமா மரவாரும் பாட பணியாயே கைமாவுரிவே அம்மா காக்கும் களவோட்டருக்கும் கைமாண்டங்கள் மதுர மன்ன முடியால் மரசும்
That's it.
அன்பர்களே, தந்தை தாய்மார்களே, என் அருமை சிறுவர்களே, உங்கள் யாவருக்கும் எமது அன்பு வணக்கம். Good morning and வணக்கம் to one and all. We have a few speakers today, and our first speaker is going to be Hane Armugam, who is KANAMA's brother. He will address you, and then further, I don't know who else is speaking, but we will break it.
That's a bad start. When you start drinking water before you speak, it's usually when you're halfway through. My name is Harnugam, and I'm Kanna's brother. I'm sorry, Mike.
The mic, speak in the mic.
Okay. It is with great sadness that I stand here in front of you today to reflect on the passing of our beloved sister KANAMA. On behalf of my siblings, Mutal, Bomi, Devan, Mari, Indrani, and Vijan, we were all absolutely devastated to hear of KANAMA's sort of untimely death. And this pain and shock has resurrected throughout the wider family, both here in South Africa and also abroad. KANAMA was such a trailblazer. In her work, she was the first non-white person to qualify as a hairdresser in South Africa against the backdrop of apartheid. She worked in a salon where apartheid dictated that only whites were allowed to be clients. And as such, she had to work in the back of the salon, of a white salon. This could have been an intimidating situation for a young girl, and yet, with all this, KANAMA rose to the occasion and grasped the opportunity to turn it into something positive. She was quite strong when she actually sort of did this. She excelled in her role at the salon, drumming up an extensive customer base, which enabled her to open up her own salon, that is, buying the white person's salon and turning it into her own, which was extremely successful. KANAMA was fiercely independent and was a role model to the young women, not just with her impressive career, but also in a fearless ambition to be self-sufficient. She was a fighter. She wanted to do everything by herself. She was a single parent for many years in her life, working tirelessly to give her own son, the only son, Vinashan, the best opportunity to thrive. Sadly, Vinashan predeceased her, and we all recognize that we also lost a part of KANAMA too when Vinashan left us. Over the years, she has done a lot for the family, supporting others where she could and showing great compassion. KANAMA was a kind-hearted, always giving to others the benefit of the doubt. She was always there in times of need. Due to our extension and extensive family, being far and wide, spread from Canada to England and Wales and Australia. Unfortunately, not all of our family could be here with us today, most notably my sister, Mutal. And her husband, Dasu, who were unable to attend and send their condolences to all of you. We know from the multitude of heartfelt tributes that have been sent in from all around the world that all our family have been devastated by her death and touched by her presence in our lives in equal measures. Let us reminisce in a wonderful life. KANAMA had such an infectious laughter and enthusiasm. That cheeky grin that she had will live with us forever and be imprinted in our minds. She could light up a room with a mischievous smile. We should cherish the happy memories we had together during her lifetime and also the measurable legacy that she has left behind. We should remember all this with fond memories. Finally, on behalf of my siblings, Carol and myself, I want to express our sincere thanks and gratitude to Mari for all his hard work and today's funeral and all the other arrangements that he made. We all know Mari is absolutely infectious with his work, because if he sets his mind to do something, you know it's going to happen. Irrespective of whose feet he steps on, he'll do it. I had hoped that Mari would share the stage with me today in giving this eulogy, but he was adamant that he couldn't. I share his discomfort, as this is a eulogy I never wanted to have to make, given how close Carol and I were to KANAMA. I don't think we've missed any time phoning her, speaking to her, and she used to rely on me, and whatever she had on her mind, she used to discuss it, and I'm going to miss that, which is practically weekly. So it's something that I'll have to live with. I would also like to thank all the nephews and nieces who all played a part in contributing to the work that had gone into this period of mourning. Although today is a very sad day for us all, and we are united in grief, we should be thankful that KANAMA was part of our lives, and we will never forget her. It is with all our blessings that she may rest in peace. So thank you all for your condolences and also for coming to pay your respects to my dear sister. Thank you.
Just say
Introduce.
he knows who's the.
I'm sorry. If we can have the next speaker, please. Is it Ravi, which is my son, my sister, baby, who is, passed away not long ago. So, Ravi.
To our respected priest, Mrs. Vinod Pale, our elders, to the bereaved family, more so my aunties and uncles, and my cousins. I immediately want to thank you for your presence and the support to the family during this period of bereavement. We are gathered here today with a deep sense of solemnness and to pay revered and deserved tribute to our loved one, Mrs. RAMAYA, fondly known as KANAMA, and to her family and friends known as K. If I have to turn back the hands of time and go down memory lane when myself and Communal lived in Bakerton with our late party, Marianne, Pamiaka, and Rani, Vijan, and Kamaka was the mother we had away from home. She made sure that everything we needed as our mothers could provide for us at home, she made that everything possible. More so, Kamaka was a stickler for neatness, cleanliness, and she made sure myself and Condolence's hair and tidiness was taken care of. Fond memories that left an indelible mark and etched inside me was the love for her family, togetherness. That's what Kamaka lived for. Saturdays, the house was full with all her customers during her haircutting afternoon. Kamaka used to take time away between her haircuts to prepare our fish and chips. The old Yankee clippers, as we used to know it. And we all used to sit around the kitchen table in the evening and eat. And this was carried throughout our family. If you visited Kamaka or you got an invite for a function to a home, you'd be rest assured you were treated as a distinguished guest. She will put the spread together fit for a king. One of the dishes you'll always find, her signature dish, her cabbage and meat with the oil floating on the top. Kamaka was an astute businesswoman. She started to work in a hairdresser. And later she bought the business and continued to be one of the finest hairdressers in the East Rand. Through her passage of time, laying a financial foundation, she never forgot the family. And most importantly, she was building a solid foundation for her son and only son, Vinesh. Unfortunately, after his demise, this took a huge toll on her. But she continued through her trials and tribulations with the absolute dignity. The choices, words and phrases won't be sufficient enough to express my true value of this dynamic woman. When you think of strength in the face of adversity, grace and dignity, through difficult times, Kamaka, we think of you. We think of steadfast, abiding love. We think of you. A courage that inspires and endures. We think of you. When we think about remarkable women to look up to, we think of you. With your strength of conviction and your commitment to integrity, you with your courage and determination to triumph over challenges, you with your openness to ideas and the ability to share what's in your heart, in the world where everyone needs someone to look up to. We are honored and privileged to have someone like you. You will be sadly missed, ma'am, and there will always be a special place in our hearts for you. You have earned your rest until we meet again. Rest in peace. I've got a message from the Governor family. Our deepest condolences again to the family. We know how devastated you must be at this time. Please let us share that our grief is with you, and we learned of Kamaka's passing away the weekend. I know she will be dearly missed and truly missed by everyone. Sending all of you our love. Sorry, we just had to type through this. We'll get to the next message, my apologies. I'd like to call upon our next speaker. That will be Mr. Anand Shetty, and he will take you through. Apologies, we would like to call Subendri to continue reading some of the messages.
Hello everyone, I'm Subendri Govender. I am the niece of Auntie KANAMA. Firstly, I'm going to start with a tribute from my family, my maiden family, the Naidus. Okay. It's amazing the things you realize when you lose someone. You get mad at yourself for not saying the things you could have said a million times. You take for granted the days spent doing nothing when you could have been with them. Anyone can be taken at any time in our lives, but we always wait until they're gone to say the things we never had the courage to say before. We were extremely privileged to have had a wonderful aunt and mother, one who never really grew old. Her smile was made out of sunshine, and her heart was as solid as gold. It broke our hearts to lose you. But you never went alone. You took a part of us with you. We thank you for all that you have done for us and for always encouraging us to be the best versions of ourselves. Not to mention all the free haircuts, tints, and stylish pin codes. You will always be remembered for your warmth and everlasting poems. You will be taught of with pride and cherished with love. May your soul rest in eternal peace as you walk beside us and guide us as we navigate through life until we meet again, our beloved. I am now going to read some tributes that were sent to our family as we mourned the death of a very special individual. Our deepest condolences once again, my dearest Indranyaka, to you and your family. We know how devastated you all must be at this sad time. Please note that we share our grief with you all. As we learned of Kamaka's passing away the past weekend, I know she was dearly loved and will truly be missed by everyone. Sending you all our love from Edwin, Andrea, Leandra, and I, and all Edwin's family who came into contact with Kamaka over our time in SA. Love you lots. Fakir Hassan, Vanakam. Mari heard about the tragedy from Sammy. Our sincere condolences on your loss. May the Lord grant you strength through the trying times. Sash Govender, Vanakam Mari, please accept our deepest sympathy and convey our sincere condolences to the family. It is really heartbreaking to have received such sad news. Our thoughts and prayers are with you as we share your grief and sorrow with all of you. Please let me know if you need anything that we can do to ease the pain. With love from the Govender family, Nandri Sash. I would like to hand over to my cousin, Mr. Jay Pediachi.
Good morning to our esteemed family, friends and loved ones who are all here today because at some point in your life, you shared special moments with a sweet, kind and ever-smiling soul. When thinking of Kamaka, we are reminded of the words of the great poet Khalil Gibran who said, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. What a heart Kamaka had. A heart that was so loving, giving, and so aptly described by the words above. Growing up, we have such fond memories of Kamaka. She always had a kind and gentle heart, and we saw it again in 2021 when she spent some time with us last Christmas, and that was to be the last Christmas that we will spend with her. Although not well at the time, she was absolutely pleasant and happy to be with us. Her giving heart just knew no bounds, and I remember that Christmas as such a happy and fun time with her. She had a smile and a kind word for every person that came during that period. We will miss Kamaka very much, but she will live in our hearts and memories forever. We will keep a spirit of giving, loving, and a smiling heart alive by following our example. It is said that when a special soul journeys from earth to the heavens, that soul leaves a legacy. I would like to share the legacy of the great RAMAYA and pray that these words will comfort and ponder in your minds whenever you get sad thoughts of her. Her life lesson values were love for family and friends. As the speakers before said, she spent most of her life with my granny, looking after the entire family, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, anyone that came to 3rd Street in Bakerton. The second value that she always taught us, unconditional love for children. If we look around currently, the total absolute abuse of children is unacceptable. As a single mother, this woman, a pride and a joy was Vination. And at that time, being a single mother was almost taboo. Yet this mother made it an absolute duty to take care of Vination. And yes, we had many cousins that had both parents, but the one cousin that always got everything was Vination. As mentioned before, the third value that she taught us was cleanliness. Now there's many jokes that we can talk about Kamaka and her cleanliness, but it is so important. It is so important to be clean. As they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. The fourth value is kindness. It will be difficult for anyone who can say that when they went to Kamaka for help that she refused. Up to the end, very close to her life, we recently heard that she helped a lost youngster. The next value is undefeated motivation. Once again, as a single mother, it must have been absolutely difficult. But this woman, through many challenges, became one of the most successful entrepreneurs I knew. And I will never forget that. And lastly and most importantly, what Kamaka taught us is supreme humility. She left an absolute legacy of wisdom rather than personal recognition. We find ourselves in today's life where we think a little too big of ourselves. We always want recognition, and it must always be about us. I think we need to take a step back and orchestrate everything from behind like Kamaka. Make sure everything succeeds, but never want to take the name and the pride. On behalf of the Padiachi family, as we bid goodbye to Kamaka, may your smile always live in our memories. May your kindness, in spite of your challenges, inspire us to live lives fully as you did. We bid you goodbye with only love in our hearts. And though we grieve and feel a deep sadness, we cannot think of you without a smile, a happy memory, and a life truly well lived. Thank you.
I would like to call upon our next speaker who will give a tribute to Kamaka, Mega Manikam.
The Master of Ceremonies, the officiating priest, Vinoda, members of the bereaved family, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here in memory of our dear mother, sister, aunt, cousin, and friend. When we heard that Auntie KANAMA was no more, as a community, we were shocked and saddened at the dreadful death that has taken away a genuinely warm individual, humble and caring soul. More importantly, deprived our community, the entire Bakerton community, of which KANAMA was a pioneer. It deprived our community of a good friend that has worked tirelessly. While we mourn the loss of KANAMA, we pay tribute and celebrate a life that was well lived, a life committed to the cause of serving our community in our own special way. Not many people leave behind a legacy of such dedication and accomplishments. KANAMA worked hard and served all in Bakerton, irrespective of one's religious faith. KANAMA has left a lasting impression on all in Bakerton. Everyone will remember Auntie KANAMA as a hardworking and, most importantly, as an independent, self-sufficient person. We all visited Auntie KANAMA's hairdressing salon. You may be wondering, you may be grinning. I do not have hair on my head, but I visited Auntie KANAMA's salon. When I was in school, when I was teaching, I do remember that I also took my little son to KANAMA. And that is how KANAMA will be remembered by all of us in Bakerton. Not just the Tamil community, but all religious faiths would remember Auntie KANAMA. I had spoken to a number of people of different religious faiths who has referred to her as Auntie KANAMA, who has passed away and has passed on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know my cousin Prega. He always wanted to visit Auntie KANAMA when he needed to go to Lens to visit his late wife Vanessa. And every time he went to Lens, we had to take him to KANAMA. KANAMA faced a challenge in her life with great courage when she fell ill. Many in a circumstance would have given up, but Auntie KANAMA fought till the last. In her own quiet and calm manner, she showed how to work through challenging times. Today is a particularly difficult and painful time for her entire family. Many people will tell us that it is part of God's plan, or this was just time for KANAMA to go to a better place. But we cry out that while God certainly knows His plan, we do not. We are shocked, scared, and angered at the unfairness and senseless, gruesome parting of our dear Auntie KANAMA. Unfortunately, there are no easy answers, and as difficult and painful as it is, we must accept that KANAMA is no more. As a family, as friends, as a community, we express our sadness, we acknowledge our loss, and we also acknowledge the great importance of KANAMA's life and the loss to us all that her passing away brings. I have spoken to members of her family, I have spoken to Mari, and he has indicated that the family is finding it rather difficult to come to terms with KANAMA's passing away. KANAMA had a great love. I want you all to remember this. KANAMA had a great love for her entire family, for all her sisters, for all her brothers, for all her nieces, and all her nephews, and their families. And they all enjoyed a very special relationship with KANAMA, especially her nieces and her nephews. I know it's hot, ladies and gentlemen. It is true that there is much sadness here today. But remember, KANAMA was a model of love, compassion, and generosity until the very last moments with us. And the mission was one that made a great difference in the lives of many people. The great number of people that we expected to have attended KANAMA's funeral today would have said a lot about the kind of person KANAMA was. We all ought to remember that KANAMA was no celebrity. KANAMA was not a celebrity. KANAMA was not a politician. But remember, she was well known and admired in her community. We all admired Auntie KANAMA. She was always there for those that were in need. Those of you that know KANAMA, those of you that were assisted by KANAMA, you will know what I'm talking about. Whether they needed to take shelter in a house during difficult times, KANAMA was there for them all. One thing that KANAMA's death has really brought home to us was that when we leave this earthly abode, remember, our material goods, important roads, titles, and profits no longer matters. All that matters when we leave, when we have completed our mission, is that we have loved fully and were loved in return. And that is exactly what KANAMA has done. KANAMA has loved in return. And I would like to reiterate that KANAMA loved her family. KANAMA loved her nieces. KANAMA loved her nephews. They were very, very dear to her. And I am certain that the feeling was mutual. In conclusion, on behalf of a community in grief, we would like to express our most sincerest condolences to the RAMAYA family, Aru, Mari, Devane, Indrani, Bomi. I'm sure I've got the names right. Vijan, and the number of nephews and nieces that Communal has got, I don't think I would be able to mention all the names, but I do know them all. We all grew up together. We all grew up together. And to all of you, all Auntie KANAMA's nieces and nephews that were there for her, I would like to seize this opportunity and applaud you for whatever you've done for her. I stand here before you, filled with admiration for whatever you have done for KANAMA Haka. We wish them courage and strength to bear this irreparable loss now that we have entrusted KANAMA's soul in the hands of the Almighty. May we all pray that KANAMA's soul will now rest in peace. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard member of this community and Mosa, the Manikam family and the Pale family is one family. In fact, this area of Bakerton, there's no neighbors, there's no, we were all family, and through words of someone that has grown up with Kanmaka and grow up with the family, and really the tribute and the words of have expressed almost true friend, confidant, and more so someone that has played a huge role within the community of Bakerton. Mrs. Vinoda Pillai, would you please sing us a couple of Theavad and Tiruba singams?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a ritual that I would like you people to do. Instead of me singing, I can do the ritual. The reason why I'm doing it here, not lots of people go to the crematorium. So, and the crematorium only, they give you half an hour to do everything. So I'm going to do it here because lots of them are not going to come to the crematorium. So I'd like them to do this ritual, and we'll sing from the Namachivaya Male, and I'm sure you all can give lots of vibration for that song. Anne, come first. Ladies and gentlemen, when we do this ritual, you're releasing Aka's. We addressed her as Haka, so I'm still going to address her as Haka. You are releasing her material attachments that she created here. If you created an attachment with her, then it's your right to come and do the ritual. There's no force in doing anything. When you're releasing, you release with your left hand and you receive with your right hand. So if you want to come and be part of this ritual, doesn't necessarily mean has to be family members. You created an attachment with her. It's your right to come and do that ritual. We don't tie you to anything. But please have the discipline to come and do it. Sometimes we do, anything we do, there's no discipline. We must have discipline if we do anything. So with your left hand, I will give it in your hand. You turn it 3 times here and place it in this cloth here. And I'll give you a stick with ghee. You turn it as well and place it in this cloth. Mandira Namasivaya Male nan seppodarku Kandavel tanakku muthu Ganapati kapodane Mudalvane Namasivaya Mudalvane Namasivaya Mudalvane Namasivaya Mudalvane Namasivaya Are mare ayanum malum Hamararu Munivartamam Murai Murai Vanangiyetum Mudalvane Namasevaya Mudalvane Namasevaya Mudalvane Namasevaya Mudalvane Namasevaya Mudalvane Namasevaya Adiyai Vedam Nangai Adi Mudi Teriya Vannam Sodiyai Nirevai Nindra Tunaivane Namasevaya Tunaivane Namasevaya Tunaivane Namasevaya Tunaivane Namasevaya Tunaivane Namasevaya Inayadi Tedi Kana Yerula Kalanda Mayan Kanayadayai Mundraita Kadavule Namasevaya Kadavule Namasevaya Kadavule Namasevaya Kadavule Namasevaya Kadavule Namasevaya Ikia Porpol Wundan Inayadi Paniva Tunbam Vantiya Sembon Meni Vallale Namasevaya Vallale Namasevaya Vallale Namasevaya Vallale Namasevaya Vallale Namasevaya Umayoru Padam Vaithu Umbargal Tamderane Amidaru Maniye Mutte Annale Namasevaya Annale Namasevaya Annale Namasevaya Annale Namasevaya Annale Namasevaya Unumai Virumai Ullumai Puramumai Tanuvai Sagatu Yellam Tandeya Namasevaya Tandeya Namasevaya Tandeya Namasevaya Tandeya Namasevaya Tandeya Namasevaya Yarupira Padanamadu Yennuye Irange Vandu Padudarandu Kollum Paramane Namasevaya Paramane Namasevaya Paramane Namasevaya Paramane Namasevaya Paramane Namasevaya Yedavar Kodai Mother Ilamulai Mayakapattu Nirudal Lorika Valla Nimalane Namasevaya Nimalane Namasevaya Nimalane Namasevaya Nimalane Namasevaya Nimalane Namasevaya Ayyame Trundai Padam Andile Tadimel Vaitha Sayyane Vanur Potrum Devane Namasevaya Devane Namasevaya Devane Namasevaya Devane Namasevaya Devane Namasevaya Akkinai Kundu Konde Aliyavan Niru Posum Sokkale Sekkarmeni தூயனே நம சிவாய 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 ஐயமே துண்டாய் பாதம் அன்பிலே தலைமேல் வைத்த செய்யனே வானோர் போற்றும் தேவனே நம சிவாய 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 ஒன்பதும் வாயில் கூட்டில் ஒடுங்கு உயர்த்தியம் வண்ணம் பொன்பொதி மலத்தால் காட்டும் புனிதனே நம சிவாய 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 ஓம் எனும் எழுத்தின் உள்ளே பொலியதாய் விளங்குகின்ற வாமனே கருணை நல்கும் வல்லலே நம சிவாய 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 ஔவியம் பேச வண்ணம் அடிமையே தடுக்கா கொள்ளும் திவ்ய மணியே முத்தே தேவனே நம சிவாய 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 அக்கினை பூண்டு கொண்டேன் அரிய வெந்நீரு பூசோ சொக்கனே செக்கர்மேனி தூயனே நம சிவாய 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 கம்பமா கதிரூரித்த கட்சிய கம்பா செம்பொன் அம்பலத்தாடுகின்ற அண்ணலே நம சிவாய 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 நகரம் போல்வலென்று நாயினே உணவு தேடும் பகரனாயின்னல் தீர்க்கும் பரமனே நம சிவாய 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 சத்தியும் சிவமும்மாயி தானுவாய் சகத்துக்கெல்லாம் முத்தியை அன்பாயாதி முதல்வனே நம சிவாய 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 ஞமலுடரித்தினர்க்கும் நாரணக்காரனர்க்கும் சமலுட முதலாய் நின்ற தானுவே நம சிவாய 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 இடவிய கபாலம் ஏந்தி ஏழி இரண்டுலகம் எல்லாம் தடவியும் காண ஒன்னா சங்கரா நம சிவாய 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 இணங்கிய கமலம் பொற்றால் இருவரும் ஏற்றி நின்று வியக்கவம் பலத்தில் ஆடும் விமலனே நம சிவாய. Okay, no, let them go. 1, 2, then I will. No, let them go. I will see if I can just do it. Yeah, I just need to. Get in, buddy. Yeah, I will do this. Yeah. I can't deny it. Oh no. Ravi, they call the next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now call upon our next speaker. Whilst the final rites has been performed, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to call upon Mr. Anand Shetty, my cousin, and very close to Kanamaka, Mr. Anand Shetty.
Observe silence, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is with a great sense of sorrow and immense sadness that we gather here this afternoon to pay the final respects to my aunt, mum, and obviously a mum to everybody here. Today we honor the life of my aunt. She was truly an amazing woman who was the kindest and most loving person in the world. I can honestly say that she was a friend to all of us, and to try to do justice in this short eulogy will be impossible. She dedicated her life to family and making sure we were supported in whatever we did, and we never felt anything other than loved. She sacrificed more than you'll ever know, and even when she was putting everyone else before herself, she still made time to listen to our problems. Everyone who was fortunate enough to know her was in awe of everything she achieved, and the warmth and happiness she brought to us cannot be overstated. We loved her more than words could possibly say, and she will forever live in our hearts. With this, I call upon Jayesh Padiachi, Yugendra Naidu, and Larisha Ramaya Pillai. Sean Ramaya and Sean Ramaya. This is a message that I actually did to Kamaka herself, and it's a pretty short one. Kamaka, Kanama, K, Kana, her real name was actually Ponoma. These are all the names you addressed by very affectionately by all of us who loved and adored you. For Kobe, Ruby, and I, you were a mum. Vination was your child, but we were no less important throughout our lives. Our best hairstyles, all the haircuts, not forgetting the perms, you certainly had the patience with us. We thank you for everything you've done for us. We all have our special individual stories to share. They will be shared shortly. With all the challenges you have endured in your life, the losses of siblings, close family relatives, a mother, and most of all, a loving child. You have taught us resilience, fortitude, and the will to continue in the elegant manner you so aptly portrayed. We will take a page from your book and learn with time to cope with the tragic loss. We wish you well on your journey, reuniting with our past loved ones, in particular, your siblings, Hama, and our beloved Vince. As we say farewell, and until we meet again, we once again ask for your guidance and protection. Goodbye, Kamaka.
Good afternoon again. I'll be doing the first tribute from Semi Naidu. Good morning, Mari. This is so sad to hear. Please be strong and hold the family together. Our deepest condolences to you and your family. Semi and Ruku. The next one is from Shanaz Ahmad. I'm so sorry to hear. May Allah grant her Jannah. I'm so sorry for your loss and can't imagine what you and your family must be going through. I pray that God eases the path going further and the body is released soon. Whoever is responsible for this, God will punish them. Stay strong and be blessed.
There's a tribute from Commemorative. My deepest condolences on the loss of your dear sister. May Namah Shivaya give you and the rest of the family the strength to overcome your pain. Thank you for taking time to update me. I can only imagine the absolute nightmare you are facing amidst this very painful process of grieving for our beloved Akka. As you await the tedious formalities upon the release of the body, may we pray that Akka Atma be in a state of complete peace and bliss. And may she obtain moksha. May she obtain moksha by Namah Shivaya. May Namah Shivaya guide you through the process that lie ahead, and may everything proceed in your favor towards the release of Akka mortal remains. Regards, Pramadeep. Next is from Antikani. I'm so sorry, I cannot believe what has just happened. I'm staying in Randburg near my daughter and getting much better strength. Give my love to the family and may God console you and comfort you during this bereavement.
We have so many happy memories of Kamaka as we refer to her. She was a cheerful, fun-loving auntie. She made everyone around her happy, whether it was a funny joke, a positive attitude, the excitement on her face when she spoke of gardening, and that ever-famous plastic flower, or her naughty smile. We all surely remember her mischievous sense of humor. Kamaka took pride in her house and always had the fancy stuff. She worked hard, and I believe that it is the reason why she was able to live her independent life. She insisted on having her own car despite not being able to drive as yet. I admired this independent, strong woman attitude whilst growing up. The innumerable times we sneaked from home to her house to say hi, and spending Saturday mornings at her hair salon in Springstown, watching the beautiful relationship she had developed with the community, whilst making their up-style hairstyles with flowers are some of the nostalgic moments we cherish. I remember when I was about 11 years old, Kamaka cut my long hair into this tomboy hairstyle at my insistence. Needless to say, my father wasn't very pleased, and we still giggle about that to this day. Kamaka was caring, kind, and generous to all. Most of our family celebrations took place at her house, with those memories lasting a lifetime. Kamaka was an incredible mother, sister, and auntie. Admittedly, we have lost a precious jewel. Farewell, Kamaka. You fought a good fight and won the race. You left a legacy that will be read through the generations, current and to come. You left a mark in our hearts, and nothing will ever erase it. It is indelible in our hearts. You were a gem and will remain to be cherished. Surely, Kamaka, our love for you will forever remain. Love from the Pillai Ramaya family. I'm going to read a few tributes from the extended family. From Ram Pillai, Vanukamari, our deepest sympathies and sincere condolences for the loss of your sister KANAMA. May Almighty God grant you the courage and strength to cope with your indelible loss. From Ram and Premi. A message from Sarah Govender, which is Wayne's mom. Dear sir, you have my deepest sympathy and unwavering support. Wishing you peace, comfort, courage, and lots of love at this time of sorrow. My heart goes out to you at this difficult time. Wishing you the best, and you know you have my full support in every moment.
Vanakkam and good day to all. I am the youngest of Kanamaka's nieces. My brother and I grew up in front of Kanamaka. We have fond memories of all the times we spent with you, all the many family gatherings held at your home, which indeed felt like all of our homes too. Although, as children, we knew not to make a mess, given what an extreme neat freak you were. We were privileged to have our very own hairstylist for all the parties and weddings, and even holiday hairstyles, getting highlights and streaks when we were only in primary school. My auntie's wit was unmatched. We were affectionately known to her as Karpai and Dose. My aunt will always be remembered for her compassion towards others, joyful nature, and great sense of humor. As it has already been mentioned by my uncle and cousins, I think it is worth mentioning again. Kanmaka prided herself on being a successful, independent businesswoman, so much so that she became the first Indian female qualified hairdresser in what was then known as Transvaal. What an achievement. Kanmaka, today you are physically no longer here, but your spirit and memories will remain with us forever. Rest in peace, Kanmaka, with loving memories from Sean, Kimisha, Ruvan, Liana, and Vijan. I'm going to read a tribute from Vanida Iyer from England. We have many, many memories of Kanma Senai. She did so much for us as we were growing up. Indeed, she took care of us. When we close our eyes and think of her, haircuts, styles, and color features heavily. I was one of her first models, and I guess she experimented on me. It is easy for us to hear her laughter, the constant supply of her favorite curry, meat and cabbage, the vigorous cleaning and rushing, and of course, always saying, "Okay, wait, I'll do it." She was caring, kind, and generous. She was always happy to see us and spoilt us. She did Nikki's and my hair for our weddings. She took flowers from the garden for my Nalango to put in my upswing hairstyle and laughed so much when the insects ran out over my face during the ceremony. Vijan is in fact still using the scissors she gave him over 40 years ago to cut his hair. We remember Kanma Senai's mischievous sense of humor. Threatening to chop off his things was a favorite line of hers. We were all Kanma Senai's children. She was very much loved and will be greatly missed. With our love, Vijan and Vanida. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard deep sentiments from the nieces and nephews. I loved Auntie. She was not our auntie, she was our friend. Really, really, we truly miss her. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call upon Mr. Vincent Govender, the past president of the Springs Tamil Association, and a very close associate of the family, and more so, had a day-to-day relationship with Kamaka.
Nandri Ravi. அன்பார்ந்த பெரியோர்களே, தாய்மார்களே, உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் என் உள்ளம் கனிந்த வணக்கத்தை கொண்டேன். The officiating priest, the MC, members of the bereaved family, respected elders, ladies, gentlemen, and our loving children. It was almost a week to date that Begerton awoke to the devastating news of the passing of our dearly loved KANAMA, as she was popularly known by all of us, known by that particular name by all of the community, regardless of the religious faith. Living in our small community in Begerton, we were all fortunate to grow up together as family, where the expression of caring and sharing was displayed in abundance, none more so than in the late Parvati Aka's or Parvati Pati's home. Parvati Pati's home was the first spiritual home to all of us in Begerton, and together with my late mum-in-law, Mrs. Mani Mudli, both of them were our spiritual guides. In the true sense of the statement. KANAMA formed part of the spiritual leadership, and when she and my late wife, Unamale, got together, it was laugh a minute, and I know they'd be rejoicing in heaven, and I know the disturbance that they're going to cause together. The association between the Pillai RAMAYA family and the Mudli families was and remains one of mutual respect and understanding till this day. Today indeed marks a day, regardless of circumstances, that we stand before you in celebrating a life that was well lived, a life that was well lived through hard work, dedication, and commitment. Men and women in our community can draw inspiration from KANAMA's sense of family and community. Personally, I stand in awe of her achievement as a single mom, and therein lies her simple message and inspiration. That if we set boundaries, we will forever be confined to that space. KANAMA went beyond boundaries and set the tone for us all to follow. A true example of pure strength and inner beauty, that is how we will remember going forward. And in so saying, it was from a simple SDA point of view. Mari, I want to thank you and your family for giving me the honor and the privilege of being able to pay tribute to our KANAMA. And today we celebrate her life, albeit from this platform. And I would like to say that it is indeed an honorous privilege to be able to pay homage to a highly respected personality in our community. KANAMA was fiercely independent and extremely hardworking, but a phenomenal woman who made everything look good, even though her own world was falling apart. More especially after the demise of her son, Vineshan. Hence to me and scores of others, she together, scores of others who had preceded her, has been a powerful inspiration, resilient, compassionate, humble, and loving woman that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and I am extremely grateful for walking the journey of part of her life with her. It is at this point I would want to dispense to giving some advice for what it is worth to all and sundry, and having had that, coming through the experience in some way or the other myself, that if you are fortunate enough to be able to wake up in the morning and say to the person that means so much to you that I love you, or in their absence, when you think of picking up the phone, do it. Please do it. The days of bearing grudges and holding grudges forevermore has to come to an end. COVID has taught us that. And we need to take a leaf from the lesson of the past 2.5 years to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Because if you don't seize the moment and seize the opportunity of being able to say to your loved ones what you really need to say, you will never, never, ever have that chance again. And please believe me when I say that. In the little that I've said, and there's much more to be said, time doesn't allow for that. This is how we will remember KANAMA going forward. And it is our fervent wish and prayer that a unique and beautiful soul rest in peace. On behalf of the Mudli and Governor families, the EXCO of the Springs Tamil Association and City Vinayaga Alayam, together with the Tamil community of Begaton, we extend to Mari and all of the Ramaya family our heartfelt condolences on the passing of a colourful personality within our community. This is a loss shared by an entire community. And I'd like to leave you with this expression from our Hindu Dharma. Life is a notebook that has 2 pages. Two pages of which the Almighty has already written into. The first page is your time and date of birth, and the last page is your time and date of death. Center pages are empty, so we are advised to fill it with love and service to mankind. And we pray that you find strength and inspiration from KANAMA's life through this little expression. We are indeed and will remain devastated for the time to come. But we know KANAMA's time ahead, regardless of the circumstances. And we know for a fact, given the person that she was, that her soul will rest in everlasting peace at the lotus feet of Namah Shivaya. Nandri, Vanakkam.
Mika Nandri, Vincent, spoken with passion, words that came from the bottom of his heart. This community has lost a daughter. This community has lost a mother. This community has lost someone that was so special to them. Through the trials and tribulations, through her life, she still managed to hold her friends and people so very, very close to her. Vincent, when you speak about loss, and you speak about the deep-rooted voids that people leave when they pass on. These are the days where we need to thank the Almighty for giving up that short period of time that they spent with us. We need to honor them. So please, let us take a leaf from Kamaka's death. Leave nothing to tomorrow. For tomorrow may not come. Ladies and gentlemen, I will beg for another couple of minutes of your time. Marianne refused to talk. Agharu was very eloquent in when he introduced, says, my brother didn't want to say any sentiments, but out of respect for his people of this community, for his sister, and more so for our nieces and nephews, and for his sisters and his brother. Morene, we would please ask you to give us a couple of minutes of your time.
My vanakkam to you, ladies, gentlemen, friends, associates. Yes, I didn't want to say anything, lest I become overly sensitive and emotional to the passing away of my sister. And may I say, at a very, very destructive, and I emphasize destructive, I don't think anybody has passed away in the circumstances that she had died. Ladies and gentlemen, in Springs, you are aware we had fires, many fires, and the community of Bakerton is ready enough to salvage the wreckage, to help with feeding, to help accommodating people that had sustained fire of infernal destruction. But never was there a death. And standing here, paying tribute to my sister, who had actually gone and passed on 4 days before her birthday. She died on the 21st and her birthday is 25. Also commemorating my father's death anniversary on the 21st of January. And these are emotions. And just to take another page out of our family history, my mother had passed on in 2010, 4 days before her birthday. My mother's birthday was the 20th of July, and she passed on at the 16th of July. We might say it's coincidence. We might reflect it as we're too emotional to actually reminisce and put such a caliber of words together. But I just want to leave. I didn't want to say anything, but given the eloquence, the tabulation of the talk that my people has given, and namely my nephews and nieces, brought up with 2 family units, and of course that was Ravi Padiachi and Anand Chetty. That team was broken up. I had my brother from England express his sentiments on behalf of the siblings, which was so clearly expressed about the love that we shared with KANAMA. KANAMA, yes, she was an icon. She actually was in the hearts of many people in Springs as well, and primarily Springs, be it Gujarati, Hindustani, Tamil, or Muslim. They always loved her, affectionately called her K. And my brother reminisced about her being the first black lady. You know, those days, you couldn't own a business. You had to work through a nominee, a white nominee. And Uncle Perry, thank you very much for you respecting, you were aware about KANAMA getting this license to practice hairdressing in Springs. And it is in Springs where she was the very first lady in Springs of color to own. She worked as a background hairdresser, doing up hair for white people in the back of the hairdresser, owned by a white person. And I think what we want to illustrate, that despite the barriers that was restricted upon us, and as my brother said, she excelled beyond those barriers. And KANAMA was one of the independent. I'm just going to share something with you, ladies and gentlemen. You know, KANAMA was so meticulous, and all the speakers actually emphasized the fact that she was a cleanliness freak. And when I say cleanliness freak, believe me, she is. She will invite you to her house, and she'll give you a glass of cold drink, and then she's got a shining cloth. She'll lift the glass and wipe the glass. Now that's how much. I'm going to take this as a cliche, that the way KANAMA lived, spick and span. You know, they always said from dust to dust. KANAMA lived a life where Devan, my sister, Indrani, we were all sitting together. And we were having tea and cake. And Devan mentioned, or Indrani mentioned, KANAMA, come and sit with us. One day when you die, are you going to take the house with you? Ladies and gentlemen, true to the word. And true to her word, she took her house with her. There is not a rubble. The house is totally brick. And what you see in the house, the content, is only ashes, rubble, and mortar. Nothing more. The 9 rooms or so was burnt to the ground with nothing. And I emphasize nothing that was salvageable. So the way she lived is that's how she took her house with her. But, as Vincent mentioned, you know, she left, Vincent and Mega Manikam left, that the way we live, we need to take a leaf from experiencing the death. I was told, and I know my brother emphasized, and Anand and Ravi Padiachi emphasized the great work I did. Ladies and gentlemen, it is nothing compared to what we opened up. Yes, the forensic as well as the pathologist said, you will never get the body released. It takes 3 to 6 months. And Mr. Manesh, Governor, let me tell you, is my family as much as he may be undertaking the funeral. He and his sister Veena are very close to my family. And I emphasize to the fact they've helped me. We had 2 grueling days going to the police station, the forensic, and the pathologist. And yes, because KANAMA's body is burned beyond recognition. And it's so sad to see her final way. But please, ladies and gentlemen, remember her in the last time you've seen her. Jovial, tenacious, she was a family woman. I know this is a vote of thanks. And I just want to actually end it by the fact that, hold in your heart, she was certainly a child of our time. And to KANAMA, all I could say, I wish her farewell. Keep her in your prayers, that may her soul rest in peace. Because that's how we remember her, and that's how we want to let her go. And ladies and gentlemen, I wanted an expression of a vote of thanks. I was sitting quiet, I heard everybody say this, but let me tell you, to all the speakers, Mr. Mega Manikam, Mr. Vincent Govender, to Mr. Anand Chetty, Mr. Ravi Padiati, who are my nephews, who brought in people to extract messages. I was only afraid of one thing. You are my people, and I didn't want you to get bored with all the messages. Believe me, my brother from England actually emphasized the hundreds of messages. We would have a whole day to read them. But we took some of the most important extracts. There are my visitors here who's representing Australia, right? Krishna and his family flew in now to meet the funeral. And to them, I really go out thanking them with the greatest expression of Nandri, expression of thanks, which I'm happy. And of course, you know, there's no function without the
the revered priestess that we have today. And again, we always keep it within the family. And that is Mrs. Vinoda Pillai. She does our funerals, being very close to us. But she worked within the time frames, and you know what becomes so clear? We prematurely set the funeral for Friday. We called her in Manesh and Ruby's office and said, Uncle Haru wouldn't be here. He only comes Friday morning. We had to postpone the funeral for Saturday. With the grace of God, the blessings of my late mother, the blessings of KANAMA, we managed to get all the documents transferred. So much so that we had 2 death certificates signed prematurely. 1, burial, 2, cremation. And Manesh got both the documents signed, principally saying that if we're going to bury, we must destroy the cremation. Or if we're going to cremate, destroy it. And they allowed us that against the norm and the difficulty of getting a death certificate. So 2 rand undertakers, and primarily Manesh and Veena and Vishnu, thank you for standing with me for 2 solid days, going up and down, that I was going actually berserk. That's why I didn't want to talk. But my sentiments, I will be doing injustice to my sentiments of sharing the experience I went. 3 months or 6 months release of the body. But yet, Manesh has pulled it out with me. Yeah, she did. And so once again, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, for the audience and participation that you've given, the support you've given, people have traveled from far and wide. Thank you for coming and paying respect to my sister. My humble thank you, principals and Randri, to one and all. Thank you, Vanikam.
Thank you, Marini, for sharing your sentiments. Yeah, spoken from the heart again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be failing in my duty. If I don't read this last message, please allow me. No. It is from our eldest auntie's family, Auntie Jagdi. On behalf of the late Jagdi Governor and family, we'd like to express our heartfelt condolences to our fellow family and friends. Our dear Kanmaka reminded us of our dear mother and grandmother in so many ways. We, the Governor brothers, fondly remember our trips to the extended stays in Bakerton. Most of our siblings were actually raised by Kamaka, and hence she was referred to as our second mother. She will always be fondly remembered as a kind, compassionate nature. May her soul rest in peace. Thank you. Once the ceremony has been concluded here, we'll proceed to the Brixton Cemetery for the final rites. Thereafter, lunch will be served at this venue. Make an Andre and have a safe journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do my concluding prayer. And it is the chorus of this prayer is Sivane Kadave Tira. Sivane means Lord Shiva, Kadave means door, and Tira means open. I'm asking for the doors of heaven to be open for Kanmaka, and I'm sure that's what we all wanted. So when we're saying that, please put your hands together and repeat that chorus. On the nectar of the mystic moon center, let me feast in delight. In the supreme center, govern and rule, thou the celestial nine, most affectionate Naraja, my Lord Shiva, open the heavenly door. Madi mandalattamudam vayara unde Parimandalatarasu Pananidiye Navaneyamarkum Nadarajaneyan Sivane Kadavaitira Sivane kadavai tira. On the gracious moon nectar, I have desired to feast. Precious jewel lamp of thy sanctum of wisdom, divine mother, O majesty my guru, thou art owned me as thine, my lord, open the heavenly door. Inda ngarulamudam, ahanarundal venduminge, nanda mani vilakke, jnana sabhai, yen taaye kove yanadu, guruve yanayanda, deve kadavai tira. Deve kadavai tira. On the non-decaying gracious nectar, I have rejoiced to feast. Amidst the rulers of serpents, Nadraja, thou art the one self-existent Lord, Almighty Lord Shiva. Open the heavenly door. Saga ngarulamudam, tanarundi nangalike, nagati basu Nadaraja, yega pavane parane, para parane, yangal, Sivane kadavai tira. Sivane kadavai tira. On the cold nectar raised in grace, I have loved to feast. Delusions removed and living in joy with profound learning. Thy devotees praise thee, merciful one. Our Lord Shiva, open the heavenly door. Arulongu dannamudam, anbal arundi maruningi naangalittu, vaazhapporulam, tavaneyar potrum, tayanidhiye yangal, Sivane kadavai tira. Sivane kadavai tira. Although it is rare for even celestial beings cite the sacred books, I wish on the enlightened wisdom nectar to feast the unceasing singing poets. Praise thee, in the sanctum of my heart resideth the great one. Open the heavenly door. Vanor kuaridanave, maharegal satrugindra, jnanotaya mudam, nanarunda, anatira pavalar potrum, sitrambalava, sirappa kadavai tira. Sirappa kadavai tira. Thou art all powerful, the revealed truth of all religious sacred books. On the nectar of the good, may I feast, the giver of good life to the good. O Nadraja, treasure of my heart, arise, open the heavenly door. Yalla mumballa sittan, yalla maregalun sol, nallara mudamadu, nanarunda, nallarku nalvar valikum, nadaraya mandrongum, selva kadavai tira, selva kadavai tira. Beyond the 7 states, thou art the refreshing nectar. May I attain everlasting life to feast and glorify. In everlasting splendor, in mercy, thou art come and own me, my Lord, and my inner cosmic sanctum. Open the heavenly door. Yernilaikkum erpal, irukindra tannamudam, varnilaikku naan undu maanpurave, kernilaikku avavan, tannayuvan tanda tiruambalama, deva kadavai tira, deva kadavai tira. With the impure hindrances removed, let me attain the joyous state, the wisdom nectar to feast on, divine personified, inspired light, infinite space of beauty, my Lord. Open the heavenly door. In ulagattida ningi, in burave, jnana mudamadu nanarunda, jnana uruve unarve, voliye veliye, tiruve kadavai tira, tiruve kadavai tira. From the pure cool nectar, rising from the vast ocean of truth, have I loved to sup. Most eminent, thou art, my Lord, great God, the honey of my jeweled heart. Open the heavenly door. Tirayoda satte, tigadindra yendra, varayodu dannamudam vaya, urayodu vane, yemmane, pemmane, mani mandrittu, tene kadavai tira, tene kadavai tira. On the summit of light, at its topmost place, on the pure precious nectar, I have desired to feast while on earth. Indescribable, the one, the many, the subtle, universal, living, heavenly body. Open the heavenly door. Jodi male mel vitti, tuyatiruamudam, medinne mel nanunna vendine, o dariya yega, anega, yadippoduvel vajnana, deva kadavai tira. Deva kadavai tira, Tirusitrambalam. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say the forgiveness prayer. We all sin unintentionally, we do that. We say ugly things to one another. Sometimes we want to create one another. That's all karma we create for ourselves. But we don't ask forgiveness. God forgives. We don't want to forgive. I don't know which lane are we in. Forgive one another. Exactly what Vincent said. That's what COVID taught us. To be simple. To love one another, because we don't know if we will see one another the next day. So I'm going to say the forgiveness prayer. If you know it, you say it with me. Otherwise, you say something that you are comfortable with. Oh, Father, it is my prayer. Listen to and give me grace to serve with love the innumerable living beings in all my ways and at all times and places, that I may go and speak of that gracious glory, indescribable, highest form of pure Sivam spark, shining radiance. Give me that gracious light. If I have erred in any way, grant thy forgiveness, my Lord. Grant the state of never to be separated from thee.
Who's coming to pay the last respects, please? Nieces and nephews, please. What do we have?
சுத்த சிவ மார்க்கன் திகண்டோங்காரு ஜோதி செலுத்தேடல் வேண்டும் தப்பேதும் நான் செய்யணும் நீ பொறுத்தல் வேண்டும் தப்பேதும் தான் செய்யணும் நீ பொறுத்தல் வேண்டும் தலைவா நின்னை பிரியாத நிலைமையும் வேண்டுவனேன் அப்பா நான் வேண்டுதல் கேட்டருள் புரிதல் வேண்டும் அருயேதற்கு எல்லாம் நான் அன்பு செய்யல் வேண்டும். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். கங்கை அணிந்தவா கண்டோ தொழும் விலாசா. Sing with me. சதங்கையாடும் பாத வினோதா லிங்கேஸ்வரா நிந்தால் துணை நீதான் தில்லை அம்பல நடராஜா செழுமை நாதனே பரமேசா தில்லை அம்பல நடராஜா செழுமை நாதனே பரமேசா அல்லல் தீ தாண்டவா அம்மையாண்டவா அல்லல் தீ தாண்டவா அம்மையாண்டவா தில்லை அம்பல நடராஜா செழுமை நாதனே பரமேசா எங்கும் இன்பம் விளங்கவே அருள் உமாபதி எங்கும் இன்பம் விளங்கவே அருள் உமாபதி எழில்மை அகல வரம் தாவா வலம் பொங்கவா எழில்மை அகல வரம் தாவா வலம் பொங்கவா தில்லை அம்பல் நடராஜா செழுமை நாதனே பரமேசா பலவித நாடும் கலையேடும் பணிவுடன் உன்னையே துதி பாடும் பலவித நாடும் கலையேடும் பணிவுடன் உன்னையே துதி பாடும் கலையலங்கார பாண்டியராணினே சா கலையலங்கார பாண்டியராணினே சா மலையின் வாசா மங்கா மதியாண்டவா பிள்ளை அம்பல் நடராஜா செருமைநாதனே பரமேசா தில்லை அம்பல நடராஜா செருமைநாதனே பரமேசா அலத்தி தாண்டவா அமையாண்டவா அலத்தி தாண்டவா செருமைநாதனே பரமேசா தில்லை அம்பல நடராஜா செருமைநாதனே பரமேசா சம்போ மகாதேவா சம்போ மகாதேவா சம்போ Muruga, Muruga, Sativel Muruga, you are my shining star. Kartigeya Muruga, Vadivel Muruga, come to me Lord Muruga. Muruga, Muruga, Sativel Muruga, you are my shining star. Kartigeya Muruga, Vadivel Muruga, come to me, Lord Muruga, Muruga, ah Muruga, Muruga, ah Muruga, Muruga, ah Muruga, Muruga, ah Muruga. When I need you, Muruga, you are there, Muruga, to take all my troubles away. You my Swami Muruga, give me light Muruga, Baba Vadi Velava. Come people, when I need you Muruga, you are there Muruga, to take all my troubles away. You my Swami Muruga, give me light Muruga, Baba Vadi Velava. Muruga, ah Muruga, 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 ah Muruga, Muruga, ah Muruga, 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 Sativel Muruga, you are my shining star. Kartigeya Muruga, Vadivel Muruga, come to me Lord Muruga. Come to me, Lord Muruga. Come to me, Lord Muruga. Vetrivel Muruganukku Arogara. Can I ask you all to please rise? அம்மா என்று அழைத்தால் போதும், நல்லருளோடும் பொருளும் வந்தே சேரும். ஆலயம் எல்லாம் ஒளி வீசும் துர்க்கையே, ஆலயம் எல்லாம் ஒளி வீசும் துர்க்கையே. அம்பிகையே உன்னை நம்பினேன் தினமும், அம்மா என்றே அழைத்தால் போதும். சாம்பவி நீயே துணை நின்றாலே, எண்ணிய எண்ணம் எல்லாம் ஈடேறும். என் வாழ்வில் என்றும் தீராத வினையும், என் வாழ்வில் என்றும் தீராத வினையும், ஆராத நோயும் தானாக தீரும். ஆராத நோயும் தானாக தீரும். அம்மா என்றே அழைத்தால் போதும். வீரம் வெள்ளைத்தே வெற்றியை தரும். கொற்றவையே திரு புவன சுந்தரியே அகிலமில்லாமே காத்து நின்றிடும். அகிலமில்லாமே காத்து நின்றிடும். சாமுனியே திரு சோழ சௌந்தரியே. சாமுனியே திரு சோழ சௌந்தரியே. ஆலினில் வந்து வஞ்சம் அழித்திடும் மாகாளி ஆதி மகேஸ்வரியே. மும்மூர்த்திகள் புகழும் ஓங்க செய்திடும். மும்மூர்த்திகள் புகழும் ஓங்க செய்திடும். முத்துமாரியே என்றும் நிரந்தரியே. முத்துமாரியே என்றும் நிரந்தரியே. அம்மா என்றே அழைத்தால் போதும். அம்மா 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 அம்மா. மரண வைத்து போக்கும் எங்கள் கடவுளே, இவ்வுயிர் உலக பெருந்த அனுபவித்து இன்பமும் துன்பமும் போதும். இது பின்னியாக அருந்திய சிரமமும் போதும். இனி இவ்வுயிர் உலக ஆசையிலும் இவ்வுடலிலும் பற்றற்று விட்டது. இவ்வுயிர் அறியாமையால் மனமொழி மெய்களால் செய்த பிழைகளை பொறுத்து ஆட்கொள்ள வேண்டும். இதன் வாதனை குறைத்து தங்களிடம் அழைத்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். இவ்வாத்மாவுக்கு உமையன்றி அடைக்கலம் புகு வேறு கதி இல்லை. அபயம் கொடுத்து ஆதரித்தற்கு வேறு தெய்வம் இல்லை. தங்கள் தரிசனம் தந்து இவ்வுயிருக்கு மரண பயத்தை ஓட்டும் தங்கள் திருவடியில் இந்த ஆத்மாவை சேர்த்துக்கொண்டு நற்கதியும் சாந்தியும் அருள பிரார்த்திக்கிறோம். எங்கும் நிறைந்த என் பெருமானி, தங்கள் திருவடிகளுக்கு பன்முறை வந்தனம் வந்தனம் வந்தனம். புத்தினரி அறியாத மூற்றரோடு முயவேனே பத்தினரி அறிவித்து பழவினைகள் பாரும் வண்ணம் சித்தமல்ல மறுவேற்று சிவமாயி என்னையான அத்தன் எனக்கு அருளியவார் ஆபெருவாயோவே. நெறியெல்லாம் நெறிதன்னை நெறியாக நினைவேனை சிறுநெறிகள் சேராட்டன் திருவருளே சேரும் வன குறி ஒன்று எல்லாத கூத்தன்ற கூத்தை எனக்கு அறியும் வன அருளியவாய் ஆபெருவாரோவே. செம்மை நல்லம் அறியாத சிதறரோடு திரிவேனை மும்மை மல மறுவேது முதலாய முதல் வந்தால் நம்மையுமோர் பொருளாகி நாய் செவிகை ஏற்றுவிட்ட அம்மை எனக்கு அருளியவாய் ஆற்பெருவாரோவே. அம்மை எனக்கு அருளியவாய் ஆற்பெருவாரோவே. அம்மை எனக்கு அருளியவாய் ஆற்பெருவாரோவே. ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம. 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 அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம 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 ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம. Somebody must put water in the front. பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி. ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம 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 அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி. ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம 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 ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம. தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை. All of you touch his shoulder. தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி. ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம. All those nephews and nieces come and fall down here and pray. I ask you all to put your hands together and let us close this prayer. Thank you. Om Kalla Purayam Garuda Purayam Gasinduragi Kalla Purayam Ninayai Purayam Ninaindarutte Solla Purayam Tudiyai Purayam Tora Purayam Yalla Purayam Orutharuvai Kachiye Gambane Sollal Varun Kutram Sindanayal Varun Thoram Seida Pollada Divine Parviyat Pavangal Punniyanur அல்லாத கேள்வியை கேட்டுடன் தீங்குகள் ஆயவு மற்றும் எல்லா பிழையும் பொறுத்தருள்வாய் கட்சி ஏகம்பனே எல்லா உலகமும் ஆனாய் நீயே ஏகம்பமே வீரர்ந்தாய் நீயே நல்லாரே நன்மை அறிவாய் நீயே ஞான சுடவிளக்காய் நின்றாய் நீயே பொல்லாவினைகள் அறுப்பாய் நீயே புகழ் சேவடி மக்களின் மேல் வைத்தாய் நீயே செல்வாய செல்வன் தருவாய் நீயே திருவையறக்கலாத செம்பொற்சோதி தென்னாட்டுடைய சிவனே போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி 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 ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய அசதோமா சத்கமய தமசோமா ஜோதி கமய பிரத்யோமா ரமதம் கமய Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gwenda, Gwenda, Govinda. Gwenda, Gwenda, Govinda. Gwenda, Gwenda, Govinda. Nandri, thank you.